I'm Christina Aguayo in Dallas, and here are your top stories.
Ranchers in California's Potter Valley are facing the sudden shutdown of their irrigation water supply because of a Pacific gas and electric project that prioritizes fish over people, and it's backed by Governor Gavin Newsom. Potter Valley ranchers were hit with no warning when PG&E depleted Lake Pillsbury to critically low levels, effectively cutting off irrigation water without federal approval. The plan, greenlit under Governor Newsom, focuses on salmon restoration over the needs of thousands of residents and agricultural operations. Ranchers like those in Potter Valley, who depend on the project's tunnels to irrigate pastures for cattle grazing, described the impact as devastating. Without water, their land turns barren, stripping away their ability to keep operating on farms that have supported families for generations. The move lines up with policies pushed by Newsom and Congressman Jared Huffman, who have championed dam removals to free rivers for fish migration. Residents point out political donations from PG&E to Newsom and Huffman totaling more than $3 million over the years. The water shortage will impact more than Potter Valley, possibly impacting the water supply for 600,000 people downstream, where the Russian River supplies drinking water and agriculture. Conservatives are now pushing for the federal government to step in and stop the, quote, attack on rural America. A video of Bill Barr has resurfaced after reports revealed that the former Attorney General worked with Fani Willis and Jack Smith to create Rico charges against President Donald Trump. Recent reports allege that Barr secretly collaborated with the Fulton County District Attorney to orchestrate the charges in the Georgia case. The claims, backed by handwritten notes and communications between Barr and Willis, expose how Barr reportedly advised Willis on legal strategies to take Trump down. Whistleblower Patricia Willis, a former journalist with access to high-level discussions, says that Barr held dozens of secret meetings to plan prosecutions against Trump, including being directly involved in the Georgia investigation. Notes from September 13, 2021, show his alleged focus on targeting people like Steve Bannon and Rudy Giuliani, with a bigger goal of formally prosecuting people tied to January 6th and those that challenged the election results. Handwritten notes dated March 15, 2022, allegedly show Barr working with Willis and special counsel Jack Smith on planned actions in Georgia, Florida, and New York, focusing on in-sync lawsuits to stop Trump from getting elected. Willis quoted Barr as believing the FBI will go to Trump's house very soon. That happened just before the Mar-a-Lago raid later that year. Barr reportedly recommended that Willis go after Rico charges against Trump, saying in notes, "We should bring Rico because it's very difficult to defend." This advice came right before Willis's August 2023 indictment of Trump and 18 co-defendants for allegedly trying to overturn the 2020 election results. Willis gave Project Veritas texts, emails, and photos proving the allegations, including lists of targets like the Oath Keepers and the Proud Boys. Bill Gates is funding bioengineered mosquitoes that are being created in Colombia and released into the wild. The British biotechnology firm Oxitec expanded its genetically modified mosquito program in Colombia, where the facility creates mosquitoes through gene editing technology. The program, backed by funding from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, raises ethical questions about global health experiments funded by unelected billionaires. Oxitec's releases have expanded to Brazil, the Cayman Islands, and the Florida Keys, with some saying they are responsible for outbreaks like Brazil's dengue surge, something the company denies. The Colombian lab focuses on breeding quote-unquote friendly males engineered to mate and produce offspring that die before adulthood, with the hope of reducing disease transmission. More than 10 million mosquitoes were released by 2023. Meanwhile, the World Mosquito Program, also funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, creates 30 million infected mosquitoes each week. The goal is to reduce dengue fever. However, critics argue that the projects prioritize unproven genetic modifications that potentially risk ecosystems and have no oversight. They question the long-term safety and ethics of mass releasing altered insects funded by elites like Gates. This program has expanded to 11 countries, including Brazil, Mexico, Indonesia, and others. Gates' support enables large-scale releases that critics view as a path towards centralized control of public health, bypassing individual consent.
That's what you need to know. In Dallas, Christina Aguayo.